Welcome back to Exciting Europe.
Imagine building your dream home, only for your neighbors to laugh at you, the city council to threaten to tear it down, and local cartoonists to mock it as a giant, ugly stone quarry. Well, that is exactly what happened to Père Mila and Roser Segimon in 1906 when they hired a visionary and wildly stubborn architect named Antoni Gaudí. Today we know it as Casa Milà, or La Pedrera. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a masterpiece of Catalan modernism, and Gaudí's very last private residential project, before he dedicated his life entirely to the Sagrada Família. It is a building with absolutely no straight lines, a revolutionary skeleton, and a roof guarded by stone warriors. Today, we are exploring the secrets, the scandals, and the genius behind Barcelona's most famous curve. This video is intended strictly for educational and inspirational purposes, aiming to foster a deeper understanding of Antoni Gaudí's architectural legacy. We highly encourage everyone to support the Fundació Catalunya La Pedrera and experience this masterpiece in person when visiting Barcelona.
Casa Milà is located right in the heart of Barcelona's upscale shopping district, and the easiest way to reach it is by taking metro lines L3 green or L5 blue and getting off at the diagonal station, which sits right outside the building's exit. When planning your visit, it is highly recommended to buy tickets online in advance. Buying them at the physical ticket office adds a surcharge of around €3, and the lines are notoriously long, with time slots often selling out 2 to 3 weeks ahead of time. To make things easier for you, just scan the QR code right here on the screen to go straight to the official website and book your ticket securely without any extra fees. While there are multiple ticket options available for purchase, the cheapest one will absolutely suffice for an incredible experience. This base option is called La Pedrera Essential, and it includes an audio guide along with full access to the Mila family apartment, the Whale Attic Gaudi exhibition, and the famous Sculptural Rooftop. For those looking for something extra, you can also choose to take a traditional guided tour during the day, or experience a guided night tour that culminates in a spectacular video mapping projection show directly across the rooftop chimneys.
The facade of Casa Milà is an absolute engineering marvel that completely shattered the rules of traditional architecture. Instead of a standard rigid wall, Gaudí created a massive, undulating wave of stone that looks less like a building and more like a natural cliffside smoothed by the ocean. This organic, heavy appearance is exactly what led mocking locals to nickname it La Pedrera, meaning the stone quarry. The stone itself was meticulously crafted. Huge blocks of limestone were brought from the nearby Garraf Massif and Villefranche quarries, cut precisely to match Gaudí's handmade models, and then aligned on site to form one continuous seamless curve. To complete this living sculpture, Gaudí worked closely with artist Josep Maria Jujol to design the twisting, chaotic wrought iron balconies that crawl across the stone like frozen seaweed. Viewed from the outside, the facade is split into 3 distinct layers: the main 6-story body of winding stone waves, a wider, smoother 2-story upper section that mimics ocean foam, and finally, the sculptural crown of the roof.
As you step past the heavy iron gates and move into the building, you enter the inner courtyards, which serve as the true lungs of Casa Milà. Gaudí completely rejected the traditional layout of dark, cramped apartment lobbies, choosing instead to design 2 massive open-air patios. These courtyards are shaped like an asymmetrical number 8, a clever layout that maximizes the amount of fresh air and natural light, reaching every single one of the 9 floors. Looking up from the center of the courtyard, The visual impact is stunning. The walls are covered in vibrant, colorful frescoes filled with mythological and floral imagery, turning the space into an open-air art gallery. Structurally, these patios are an engineering triumph. The weight of the inner facade is supported by cast-iron pillars and an ingenious radial system of beams that mimics the spokes of a bicycle wheel, working in tension and compression simultaneously to eliminate the need for heavy walls. The courtyard ramp once led down to an underground basement garage. This was a massive novelty at the time for the wealthy bourgeoisie, and Gaudí famously had to modify a structural pillar just so one of the first tenants could maneuver his new Rolls-Royce down the ramp.
As you move out of the courtyard and step inside the fourth floor, you enter the preserved Mila family apartment, which gives you a fascinating look at how the wealthy bourgeoisie lived in the early 1900s. Because of Gaudí's revolutionary free-plan design, there are no load-bearing walls inside the apartments, meaning the rooms flow into one another with curved corridors and absolutely zero sharp corners. The tour takes you through a beautifully reconstructed layout. You'll walk through the elegant living room and dining room, which are flooded with natural light from the massive facade windows and feature dynamic, plastered ceilings that look like rippling water. The bedrooms show off handcrafted wooden doors and exquisite furniture designed specifically to fit the curved walls. Even the functional spaces are a highlight. The kitchen is fully equipped with vintage stoves and utensils of the era, and the beautifully designed bathroom and toilet showcase just how modern and luxurious the building's plumbing and amenities were for the time. It feels less like a museum and more like the occupants just stepped out for a stroll down Passeig de Gràcia.
We head up into the whale attic, which is easily one of the most architectural and atmospheric spaces in the entire building. Originally used as the building's laundry and drying rooms, it now houses the Gaudí exhibition, giving you a deep look into the mind of the master architect himself. Walking into the attic feels like stepping inside the ribcage of a massive prehistoric creature. Gaudí achieved this organic, cavernous effect by using 270 parabolic, or catenary, arches made of simple brick. Instead of using standard flat ceilings, he utilized a traditional Catalan vaulting technique, where the arches vary in height, depending on how the building narrows or expands below. This didn't just create a breathtaking visual, it also served as a brilliant climate control system, acting as an insulating thermal barrier that kept the residential apartments below cool in the scorching summer and warm in the winter.
Once we finish exploring the secrets of his engineering in the attic, we climb the final steps to the ultimate highlight of the tour, the famous rooftop. Known poetically as the Garden of Warriors, the stepped roof of Casa Milà looks like a surrealist landscape of rolling hills and valleys. Here, Gaudí turned purely functional elements, like chimney pots, ventilation shafts, and staircase exits, into spectacular freestanding sculptures. The 28 twisting chimneys resemble sentinels wearing medieval helmets, guarding the roof, while the massive snail-shaped staircase exits are beautifully adorned with trencadís, a mosaic technique using broken fragments of marble, ceramic tiles, and even glass from empty champagne bottles left over from the building's opening party. As you wander through this stone army, you will discover that Gaudí intentionally designed two specific arches on the roof to perfectly frame two iconic monuments in the distance, creating the ultimate backdrop for a picture. One arch frames a breathtaking direct view of Mount Tibidabo rising over the city, while the other perfectly frames Gaudí's ultimate masterpiece, the Sagrada Família. Standing on this undulating roof, looking through Gaudí's custom-built viewfinders with the entire Barcelona skyline stretched out around you, is the perfect grand finale to the La Pedrera experience. Antoni Gaudí once said that straight lines belong to men, but curves belong to God. Looking out from the roof of La Pedrera, It is impossible not to feel the truth in those words. What began as a highly controversial building mocked by locals completely redefined what architecture could be. If you enjoyed diving into the scandals and secrets of Casa Milà, Barcelona's modernist journey is just getting started. The city is packed with incredible masterpieces waiting to be explored, and we have covered them all right here on the channel. Please keep in mind that this video was created to bring Gaudí's incredible work a little closer to you, to help us understand his genius, find inspiration, and of course, inspire you to visit Casa Milà in person the moment you get to Barcelona. You can step inside Gaudí's very first residential project at Casa Vicens, or explore the hidden depths of Palau Güell. If you want to see how he transformed a standard apartment building into a colorful dragon legend, check out our deep dive into Casa Batlló. Just down the street, you can marvel at the stunning neo-Gothic facade of Casa Amatller, or head up the hill to wander through the whimsical mosaic-filled playground of Parc Güell. Beyond Gaudí, you won't want to miss the explosive color and stained glass of the Palau de la Música Catalana. And, of course, we have the ultimate guide to the crown jewel of Barcelona's skyline, the breathtaking, still unfinished Sagrada Família. Click on the screen right now to jump straight into our next Barcelona adventure. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an expedition through Europe's greatest treasures, and we will see you in the next video.